Good morning, world.
Happy Wednesday.
Oh, she's going to be a quick 13 minutes today because we have an 11 o'clock meeting as usual. Anywho, so how are you guys today? Hopefully well.
Hello out there in Facebook land.
Like in TV land and Instagram land and all of the social media lands, all the lands.
True story.
Yeah, so how did your Wednesday look like, Jen? Last Wednesday, I guess, like after the meeting.
Oh, I have a hot water heater replaced and called Dominion about that ridiculous bill and got some tips on how to save energy in your home.
Wait, what did you have a horrible bill on? Was it water?
No, my power.
Oh.
Dominion Energy.
Was that because of that water heater?
No, it's because I leave my blinds open because I've got a pretty view.
Oh.
Apparently when the sun comes in, the AC has to work a little harder.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, and I guess that is the way that... No, the sun comes in, and in that way...
I get evening sun
Oh.
really aggressively.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, but that bill isn't.
Very expensive.
Yeah, so closing the blinds. I upped my thermostat to, I like 70, 71 is like comfortable in a small space. I upped it to 74. It took me 24 hours to get used to it. I know.
That sounds terrible. I walked in here today and I'm like, it's a sweat box.
Yeah, I know, it's not that bad. Your body acclimates to it. So, and then they also said that running your ceiling fans doesn't actually use much energy at all. So to not be afraid to keep that going, but to shut off lights when you're not using them.
Oh, look at that. They were so kind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because at first it was like, you better tell me what's wrong with this bill. And then I was like,
how much was the bill?
Great. Well, they also tacked on that like installation situation. So it was all in all, I paid $174, but the installation charge was like $65 or something like that. So it's still over $100 for 1,300 square feet. That's absurd.
Is it?
In my opinion.
I'm curious to see what your bill is,
month.
because I was like, our bill runs around like $250, $300 usually.
You also have 3,000 square feet. You keep lights on all the time.
I
You
keep
run your
kind of,
well,
but the
you
lights
keep your
I
AC
keep
at the same temp.
I do, but the lights that I keep on are the what do you call those things? The LED lights. So they use like no energy at all.
Yeah, and then my hot water tank guy, he said to switch all my bulbs to LED, and that'll help.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like I had to replace almost every light in the house is LEDs except for the vanity lights, and I don't ever keep those on anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Franklin would like to know, is this a high pony edition? Why, yes, it is. It's called the workout edition, and Nicole hasn't washed her hair since last Thursday, so she gets thrown up in a pony.
Oh, that's okay. That's sweet.
It's true. And hi, Stuart. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, so Wednesday for me. So I met a client for a walkthrough I met a client for a walkthrough with contractors at a house that they were under contract for. Mind you, this is the first time that I had seen the house because whenever we were on the cruise, they did the home inspection on this thing with Joshy. So we get in there. Crazy enough, I have never broken out in hives whenever I have walked into a house before. Like literally, my skin started to puff up. It was either the
Whoa. Don't mind me.
it was either the cat or the cleanliness or something along in that house that was
the above?
or all of the above. Like it was really aggressive. Anyways, and so as she's walking around, we had 4 contractors come through that day just to talk, because she was going to have to completely redo the house. Now, mind you, she was not getting a deal on this thing. It was just where she wanted to live, because the only thing that you can't change about a property is its location. So she wanted to live in this specific neighborhood on this specific street, and that's what she wanted to do. So she put an offer in, and it was a really aggressive offer because there was multiple offers on it. So it was no contingencies. Now listen, because the story is going to get even better whenever I tell you that there's no contingencies on this house whatsoever. And we pay $10,000 above. There's no contingencies, not a single contingency on this property, and we are going to move forward, even though they let us do a home inspection for informational purposes only. So she's cleared to close. It's 2 days prior to settlement. We were like, oh sure, yeah, no problem by going back in there, because that's totally fine. Until we get in there and we realize how these folks actually live, which was, she is severely allergic to cats, and it was, I have not walked into a house like this in a while. And unfortunately, that was her trigger to cut her losses and walk away. Now, granted, it was like a cleanliness situation, right? And there was also some issues that looked like the structure was, they had tried to hide some things, and I talked to the agent about that, and they said that no, they aren't doing anything. It was strange. So anyway, all of this started to get overwhelming for her. And so on Thursday, she calls me freaking out. She's like, I cannot do this. And I was like, you are cleared to close. Like, we are 2 days away from settlement. You cannot, like, this is really crazy to do this. But instead, I asked her to sleep on it and sit with it. And we talked about some other options, and it was not going to work for her because she could not sleep at night thinking about moving into a house like this. So she walked away from her EMD. She walked away from all of the, the inspections that she did, any of the money that she put towards it. And sometimes it's just better to cut your losses for your own, like, brain power, your own sanity whenever it's going to be you and your son that's going to be living in this house. So good for her. She felt great with the decision. I felt, because, we get wrapped up in these, our clients' lives with all of this stuff. And I'm like, I just wish that I would have known that this is going to be this scenario. But, like, whenever you put your house on the market, you put your best foot forward so it looks beautiful in showings. It looks beautiful in photos. And then whenever you catch it on a day that they might not necessarily be expecting somebody to come into the house, that's whenever you have a problem. But now that's a lesson that I learned, because I didn't, like, I was like, she's so excited about this. There's nothing in the world that could possibly go wrong. And then, like, her mom also has severe allergies. She couldn't stay in the house. She had to stand out on the back porch. I was, like, sitting on the edge of the couch. My arms are puffing up. It was wild. I was like, I don't know what is going on in this house, but it was just, like, it was wild. Anyway, so that was my Wednesday.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was great. Wednesday and Thursday, really. What about you, Thursday?
Thursday, listing consult for my first buyer client ever of all time. We're going to be selling their house. They're going up to Fort Drum, New York on some PCSE.
So in the event that you guys know a agent in Fort Drum. Oh, you found one. It was like
we should not have to chase an agent for a referral, first of all. But yeah, I made many of calls, many of texts, many of phone interviews / voicemails left. And found a promising guy named Mike up in Watertown, New York is where his brokerage is. Marble Key Realty is the name of his company. It's his own.
How interesting.
Super cool guy.
Actually answered the phone.
Like our vibe, our age, all that good stuff.
She tried to call so many people, and they weren't answering the phone. Like, she could not get a hold of anybody via email. It was just dumb.
Yeah, that's what I was actually just texting was Mike. But yeah, so that was fun, the listing consult. And then I dropped off some of my Stafford Popeyes, which was super cute. Yeah. Everybody loved them.
Be prepared, world. We are out here popping by randomly, so if you find some cute little gift and an invitation to our big party on the 21st. Big party on the 21st. Big party on the 21st!
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
Evening.
Yeah. And we've doubled our performers from last year. We've got open food and beverage options, and she's going to be super fun. So all of our clients and friends and community is invited. So we will be in flapper gowns, and we expect you to be in however you're comfortable. You don't have to be in flapper attire. Nikki actually sent me the picture of the costume that she got, and it's so
I
cute.
hate costume parties. What am I supposed to wear?
A dress with sparkles. You love dressing. I was like, you love dressing sparkles. So it's like you already have something in your closet. I'm sure that would work just fine.
Not flapper like.
Well, it doesn't have to be a flapper. Just glam.
What else is
glam. It was a very glamorous time. So you could be a singer. You could wear an evening gown. You could do all sorts of stuff.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I hate costume parties, but I like sparkles.
Yeah,
so
but it's not.
It is a costume party.
If you wore a flapper gown, it would be a costume party. But you don't have to wear a costume party. You can just be festive. There's a difference.
Hashtag same.
Disagree. Hashtag disagree.
But it'll be good for everybody to get together. It'll be beautiful. Evening sunset. It'll be great.
For sure.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, but let's see. Other highlights of the week, we stayed, Q was killing it last week. She had 3 stagings last week, I think. 6 projects last week. Dear God. Yep. So 6 369 Bamberg line. Okay, so she damn, you're fine. What is the lyrics?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
My eyes are on fire today. Sorry, I look like I'm really going through some stuff right now. I am. It's killing me right now.
Oh dear. So we have a beautiful $900,000 house that came on the market, Yola in Manassas. She got staged, and HG Bros came out and did an incredible package on that with aerials and videos and twilight photos and all sorts of stuff. It's the most that we've ever put into a home as far as like the marketing package goes. So she really came out beautiful. I'm excited about her.
Cute.
Yeah, and then we had a listing consult with Kendra on Friday, which is exciting, seeing her doing all of these fun things. And then Friday we played poker. Yeah. That was
Cute. Thought it was office for me.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday, I was running around. So we had 3 houses come on the market this weekend. Presidential Hill Loop, Yola, and then one over in Manassas it's a little townhouse where one of our investors is ready to be done. So that was the other thing that Q had to stage last week too. And then she had stagings outside because we still do outside stagings too for realtors. So God, 6, girl, Lord.
She told us on Tuesday, she's like, I got 6 projects this week, bear with me.
Yeah, right.
I was like, noted.
Yeah, some of those were consults though, I believe, which is positive. Yeah, either way, it's still a lot. Yeah, staging is a lot.
We're both like, it's a lot.
Yeah, and Stuart asked, can you send me a reputable builder's name? I can send you a good friend of mine who is a real estate agent down there who I'm sure knows all the builders down there, Stuart. So I'll send you their information. Well, we've got Carly and we've got Kaleo. They're both phenomenal. Yeah, they're both phenomenal. They're both in that area. So
yeah.
And Franklin says, I know a ton of New York agents, but do you know anywhere she was
30-mile radius of Fort Drum. It's too late now unless they absolutely hate the agent that I think is going to be a good fit for them. But,
Yeah.
definitely let me know.
For sure.
Shoot me a text.
She tried. She reached out to New York, or she reached out to KWYP and YPN. Yeah, nothing.
Everything.
I was like, how is it so hard
I'm
to...
like, and people over here liking the comment. I'm like, don't like it unless you have an agent to send me. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I like that you're looking for a realtor. I bet you do. I don't like that I couldn't find one.
Yeah. So we also had, the COVID is coming back in a really crazy way right now. So we all got tested this week because we had a little bit of Kendra had a little bit of a scare. We had a little bit of a scare. We've had 0 symptoms whatsoever, but at the same time, because we're around the public so often, it's in our best interest and the public's best interest for us to remain safe and everything. So we have gone back to all of our not crazy cleaning rituals,
yes,
but
call it what it is.
Okay, fine, crazy cleaning rituals. We've got the cleaning ladies coming in more often to sanitize. We've got the Lysol. We're wearing masks everywhere. We're for the open house that I did over the weekend on Sunday. I literally sat outside in a chair that I fell out of. I was trying to sit under a chair. I was texting Jen at the time. I was sitting on a chair, and the thingy was kind of going like this, and I reached over to get my drink. And whenever I did, I literally flipped out of my chair, fell upside down, and was laying on the ground like a fish. 5 seconds after my sellers walked away to go hang out at their neighbor's house while the open house is going on. So I refused to go inside. I was sitting there with a mask on. I'm like, people think I'm crazy. I was like, but you are welcome to go inside. Please stay 6 feet away from me.
Yeah.
And Will says we also know Austin down in the Virginia Beach area. That is also very true. Solid. Virginia Beach, we got you because it's our state. I think it's because we know everybody down there. Wait, really? Franklin says Fort Drum was my stomping ground. I don't even know where Fort Drum is.
It's northern. It's
Got
right
it.
there. Almost Canada. Like when you search local, close by towns, stuff in Canada pulls up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's up there.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last week was basically just a very big week of getting a lot of listings ready to go on the market for me, and freaking out about COVID. We quarantined our entire ourselves for 48 hours.
Yeah.
During it. It was some stuff, but we're all the whole team is vaccinated except I think one. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that the whole team is vaccinated. TBD on that. But it's still, you can still catch it. This Delta variant and is no freaking joke. We now know 3 people who have been vaccinated who have now caught this Delta thing. Mm-hmm. It's just some very concerning stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Safe. Yeah, for sure.
And if you are not vaccinated, please don't be all up in people's face.
Yeah.
I met some folks at the gym last week who disclosed that they were not vaccinated, and I took a couple steps back. I said, I respect that for you, but respect that I'm going to take my space.
So please, back up a little bit.
That's the only thing I've ever said about people not being vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly your choice.
Absolutely.
And there's no shade.
Right.
Do you? If you don't feel comfortable taking the vaccine, then that's also fine, but respect our choice, the fact that we did, and we are also very conscientious of wearing masks and all of that stuff because we live in a very highly populated area. I mean, Prince William County had the highest COVID cases in Virginia whenever this first thing started popping off. They had to open up their own clinics just to get it under control. So it's real life, man. We don't want to go back to a world where we have to.
We're on our way.
Yeah, we are on our way to go back to a world where we're, what do you call it? Quarantined, locked down again. Businesses aren't going to be able to sustain this.
Yeah.
So anything that we can do to stop the spread. That is our political announcement for today. Yeah, anyway, so what was your highlight of last week?
What was my highlight? Well, having the listing consult with my first buyer client of all time, and then rental client from 5 years ago. She settled today.
Oh,
First purchase.
That's so cute.
It was like it's just cool seeing things come like full circle, you know?
Yeah.
From when we first got in the business. And
That's true. This has actually been a year of that, at least for me, because like Yola, that was the most stressful the most stressful whatever of all time for me.
Yeah.
That was the most stressful purchase. It was a buy-sell combination when they were selling two to buy one. And it was right whenever my dad had passed away, and it was just like the buyer on one of their houses lost her job and didn't tell anybody except for the day before settlement. The kids were in school, like their senior year, and they had to get ready to go to prom. Like it was such a disaster.
Yeah.
And so but we're selling the house that they purchased right now. That's on the market. So being able to spend time with them this year there's been a lot of highlights for this year, but getting Yola on the market was a highlight for me this past week. It's a beautiful home, so we've got 2 showings today on her, so fingers crossed.
Good.
Yeah. You learn anything good?
I did, but my brain is foggy. And I literally wrote in my notes, got to think about this one. Because I was really trying to like spin the wheels earlier, think about this, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like I'd have to sit down and look at my emails to remember what I learned.
Got it. Makes sense. I learned that sometimes it's better to cut your losses and like just let it. That's the first time that's ever happened to me that a client has like honestly walked away from their earnest money deposit without any like qualms, questions, anything. And so sometimes for your mental health, like as long as you explain everything up front and say this is like if we do this, you have no protections whatsoever, and as long as you're managing expectations from the beginning, you're okay, and your relationship will remain okay. So
It's true.
yeah. Anyway, so that's really that. But we got to go. We're 5 minutes late for our 11 o'clock meeting.
They waiting.
So we love you, world. We hope you have a fabulous Wednesday and the rest of your week. And we will see you next Wednesday. Bye, out.
Bye.